Are you a Pancake editor or a curator? Might seem like a very strange question, but in the situation where you've been on a video shoot and you've come back with a large number of clips with the objective of building a video from them, it can make a big difference how you approach it. Let me explain the approaches and then see which might be best in particular situations. Welcome back to the video darkroom. The first approach is creating a sequence and putting all of your raw selects onto it, and this is sometimes called pancake editing. You'll see why that is the case in a moment. Here we have a bin with a large number of clips. You would select them all and make a sequence from them or drag them into an existing sequence, but for demo purposes I'm just going to take the first 20 or so. Select the clips, right click and choose New Sequence from Clip. Next we make a rough cut sequence where we're going to start building the video. I'll just use the shortcut Control or Command N to create a new sequence and name it Rough Cut. You can open each sequence in its own timeline by clicking on the sequence name and dragging it above or under the other sequence depending on what you want. We'll position the clip selection sequence over the top of the rough cut and release the mouse. Next, you can zoom each timeline to the most effective level so you can easily see what you need. Double click on the track header to increase the height of the track, and then you'll see the thumbnails of the clips. Play or scrub through the select sequence and drag the clips that you want to use onto the rough cut sequence. The clip is copied to the target timeline and the source timeline remains exactly as it was. You can scrub on the clip in the rough cut sequence and use the shortcuts Q and W to most easily trim the clips on your rough cut sequence. Q will delete from the playhead where you are to the start of the clip, and W will delete from the playhead to the end of the clip. This is by far the fastest way to trim the clips. We can copy down a few other clips as needed. Once you have your rough cut sequence, you can close the selects timeline and continue refining your video as you need to. So let's now move on to method 2, which is to select using a combination of the project panel and the source monitor. You can work from either the list view or the icon view in the project panel. The list view has the benefit that you can easily add the metadata that you want, such as the scene, the description, or the rating. And the icon view has the benefit that you can more easily see the content of the clips that you want to review for selection, because you may not want to review all of them. Some may be obvious outtakes. Go through each clip, scrub on the source monitor to set your in and out points on any clips that you think are useful. You can add metadata to the clip that may help with later edits. For example, give each clip a scene and description. You can also give a rating depending on how good or how useful you think that clip is going to be in your production. If you want to use more than one section from a clip, you can duplicate it and add different in and out points. You could add the clips to your rough cut sequence as you go along, but you could also just go right through and curate all of the clips, add the metadata, and then reduce the set down to just the higher rated clips to build your rough cut from that. To add clips from the source monitor to the timeline, you can drag them straight down onto the timeline, or you can use the shortcut comma to add the clip to the timeline at that point. So which method is best? Really, it's just whatever you prefer. However, there are a few advantages and disadvantages to each method. The pancake method is particularly good if you shot the clips mainly in the sequence that you want in the final video. It's also good if the clips are longer and you may want to take several parts from each clip. Curating the clips in the project bin is good if more than one editor will be working on the project, because then they can see more easily the content that they have to work with. If you want to radically cut down on the content that will go into the final production, or if there may be several versions of the final video with different source content, in these cases having the metadata that shows scenes, descriptions and ratings can be invaluable both now and later in the future when you want to look at the project again. Which method do you favour? Let me know in the comments. Or maybe you have a completely different approach. I would love to hear that. Let me know. If you found this video interesting, then please let me, and more especially the YouTube algorithm, know by giving it a like, and I'll see you in the next one.